Hey everybody, Jason here, and today the choice it has been made. The Traveler has come as we're taking a look at the brand new The Destructor figure from FanPlazms Toys. And this figure, which further expands FanPlazms' higher-end Class 10 assortment, it offers up an animated take on Gozer the Gozerian that takes heavy inspiration from Kenner's The Real Ghostbusters toy line. And before we really take a look at the figure, I should provide a quick heads up for anyone out there who would like to add the Destructor into their Ghostbusters collection, as pre-orders end this Friday, August 4th. They're available exclusively through FanPlazmToys.com, and you know we've got that pre-order link down below in the description. Now, given that we've already shown you a bit of B-roll of that awesome throwback style packaging that certainly takes some cues from Kenner, we might as well start the video there. On the top left corner, you're going to spot the FanPlazms Toys logo with the added The Real Ghostmakers branding. Again, if you couldn't tell by now, this is an unlicensed toy. It's then paired with some brand new art by Beducci Studios, one half of FanPlazms Toys. We got the Destructor there, and the newly acquainted minion, the Gargoyle Ghost. I love the look of these two together, and collectors, you're no doubt going to love that the packaging offers openable plastic bubbles. And what that means is you can easily swap between having this figure mint on card or out of box. Like for a quick demonstration, here's the Destructor mint on card. You put a little pressure on that bubble and there we go. Opened up. We now have access to the figure, and the packaging, it's still perfect. Now, having the Goz out of the box here, again, the design, it's kind of crossing the streams between the original 1984 film, because after all, it's the Destructor, Gozer the Gozerian, but it takes heavy inspiration from the animated series, as well as what a figure would have looked like had it been part of the Kenner toy line. And likely one of the first things you noticed is the Ghostbusters, they're going to have no issues aiming for that flat top. There's also metallic red eyes paired along defiant eyebrows, and I love the level of detail here, especially in the mouth, as you're going to find tiny little fangs. Body-wise, we got the classic Gozerian bubble design, as in bubbles pretty much all over the body. And in similar fashion to that accentuated flat top, the Destructor's fingers have been extended, further adding to the ghostly and otherworldly appearance. Now, being that the Destructor is very much a retro-style throwback figure, it does include 4 points of articulation. This allows you to move the arms and legs up and down, and let me add here, sometimes when it comes to non-licensed figures, articulation can be a little questionable. Some figures can be too tight to the point that you're afraid you may break something, or instead too loose, meaning the figure has a hard time standing. And when it comes to the Destructor, I'm happy to say that those issues, it doesn't plague this one. I mean, this one does feel very much like a Kenner figure. And given that, it shouldn't be too surprising that this animated take on Gozer, it looks great next to Ghostbusters figures. I mean, here it is sandwiched in between two Egon Spanglers. On the left, we've got Hasbro's recent Kenner Classics release. And then from a couple years ago, there's the Fright feature figure. Now the fun, it does not end there, because as I alluded to earlier, there's also a pack-in ghost. Let me go ahead and just kind of pop him out of here. The Gargoyle Ghost. And this little cretin is such a clever nod to the original Ghostbusters movie, and honestly is one of my favorite smaller scale figures from FanPlazms. I mean, the level of detail is great. I feel like the sculpting here is one of their best. You got the face there with the mouth open, turning it around, you'll find some wings because, of course, I mean, he's a gargoyle. And this little guy, he'll fit in perfectly well with either Kenner's batch of Spectres, or for those out there who are avid collectors of FanPlazms Toys Crypt Creepers. Now, as a bonus, because we are talking about toys and ghosts and Kenner, in addition to pre-orders being available currently for the Destructor figure, FanPlazms Toys, they also recently released these. The FanPlazms minifigures, and these serve up reimagined takes on your favorite 1980s ectoplasmic tub dwellers. Now, for anyone who's purchased any of FanPlazms Toys Crypt Creeper figures, you should know what to expect here when it comes to the clamshell packaging. And let me just reiterate here, these are not recasts, these are reimagined sculpts. What FanPlazms Toys has done here is they've taken the original concept of these little minifigures and they've just really updated them. They've made them look a little better, at least in my opinion. But I don't want you just to take my word for that. Let's go ahead and do some direct comparisons from those original Kenner releases. And in these comparisons, Kenners are going to be on the left, FanPlazms are going to be on the right. And with this first one here, I really want to call it the difference that you can see in the eyes. Again, so much more added detail, but then when we look inside the mouth here, I mean, this has been totally made over. Just everything has a much more refined look to it, and I really love the accentuation here on the tongue. Up next, we've got this little gremlin, and I would say this is probably the biggest jump between the original toy and the new one. Taking a look at the sides here, you can see the difference in the arms or the wings or whatever they're supposed to be. There's also been some like little boil marks added to the backside. As well, check out the difference here in the tongue and the level of detail here found in this blue one from FanPlazms. And if we're talking tongues, well, that's convenient because check out this next ghost. He's pretty much all tongue, and this comparison here, luckily the colors, they're kind of the same. I mean, both have kind of like a reddish tone to them. And I don't know about you, but to me, this ghost always reminded me of like a walrus, mainly because of those like big teeth or tusks that are like hanging down, which they are much more refined with the one from FanPlazms. As well, I don't know if the camera's picking up on it, but there is a really faint texture effect on this new one that I really like. And last but not least, we got this little hanger ghost here, and his big role was really to hang off the old cans of ectoplasm. Much like that walrus-style ghost here, we got the teeth that have been further accentuated. As well, on this new rendition, you can see a lot more of like detail on the body when it comes to like little veins and everything popping out. I mean, these are just a fun, simple, retro throwback, and like I said, if you want to grab a set of these for yourself, they're available, they're in stock to order right now through FanPlazms Toys. As well, if you do want to pre-order that Destructor figure, that's also available right now till this Friday, August 4th, through FanPlazmsToys.com. We got that link down below in the description. And with that said, that's all I've got for you for this one. As always, if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe. If you'd like to join up with Ghostbusters news, check out our Patreon page. A link to that is also down below. And we'll see you right back here next time.
Your spine, your senses don't deceive you. Call up the guys who are ready to believe you. The number's 555-2368. But before you call, let's get something straight.